I just want to say welcome everyone to TSG's Director's Cut. I'm Brenda Hogsett, Director of Player Experience.
And I'm Kelly Wolcott, Director of Judges. One of the most incredible parts of the Skin Games is the people and the professional journeys that brought them here.
And today we're sitting down with the movers, shakers, educators, and innovators in our industry to hear the stories behind their work and learn more about their who, what, and why.
Today's guest has spent more than 26 years expanding the way our industry understands skin health, professional care, and the person behind the skin.
Nichelle Mosley is an international award-winning licensed esthetician, corneotherapy specialist, educator, author, and certified social emotional learning and somatic facilitator.
She's the founder of the Skin Barrier Academy, visionary behind the Skin Remembers by Whole Beauty Impact, and creator of the CIDESCO-endorsed Global Majority Corneotherapy certification, which advances culturally responsive corneotherapy education for melanin-rich skin.
Nichelle is also a Skin Games champion, earning first place in age management in 2019, has continued supporting TSG ever since, and has served on the judges panel for several years.
So, without any further ado, Nichelle, welcome to TSG's Director's Cut. We are so happy that you are here with us today.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
that.
you both so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy that I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to have you.
Before the Skin Games and before the educator and the leader we know today, what first drew you into aesthetics?
Oh, wow. Well, this is such a great question. My foundation actually didn't start in skincare or in a treatment room whatsoever. I am a third generation administrator for developmentally disabled care. And after that, I became a teacher. And then after that, I became a transport officer. So that's really the foundation of, what I would say my aesthetics career is been built on. And it doesn't have really too much to do with skin. It's really more so the study of, systems of care, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the Lanterman Act. Those were the things that actually taught me, what happens when people are treated as problems and, not as humans. So, I would say that that really is what my foundation was, what my foundation is. It didn't start in a treatment room. It started with wanting to provide, whole person care and thinking about all the things that I've been able to contribute to and how I can do that for my clients.
Love that. So you've been in the industry for more than 26 years. When you think back to your early career, what was one challenge that really shaped the way you work today?
Oh, that's a great question too, Brenda. Honestly, I think before the challenges were, before I was introduced to the skin games, before I was introduced to estheticians that saw, excellence and growth as, just the trajectory that they wanted for their careers. The challenge was, just finding a community, finding people
Mm-hmm.
of like mind, of people who were just as serious and, wanted to make this into a career that they could be proud of and, that they could, have longevity in. That was my biggest challenge was just finding community, finding my tribe
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I finally have done that. So it feels like a blessing, genuinely.
I don't think that you can progress without support. We all need
We're
people
preachers of that. Mm-hmm.
to help us get to that next level. That's imperative to have
Yes.
so that you can continue to give back.
Oh,
Your
yes. And that's one
work,
of the, mm-hmm.
yeah, yep, 100%. Your work now connects barrier health with culture, lived experience, nervous system health, and whole person care. Was there a particular experience that changed the way you understood what clients truly need from an esthetician?
Oh, wow. Well, honestly, I will say that there wasn't necessarily one particular instance. You know, being involved in the skin games, having the opportunity to provide a level of care that, that I necessarily wasn't doing before. So, doing case studies, making sure that I was, understanding the historical concepts of what was taking place with my clients, understanding their medical history, those types of things. I don't think that I was really necessarily diving that deep.
Hmm.
So back in 2017, when I had the opportunity you know, to see what a case study could be, to see, how I could put together
Mhm.
my thoughts, my hypothesis, those things were new to me, and I adopted it, and kind of incorporated that moving forward. But I wouldn't say that there was any one particular thing you know, that set me on that particular journey. It was more so just the opportunities of knowing that my clients were just wanting more, like
Mm,
seeing them and feeling like I wasn't really giving them the full care that I thought that I could.
love that. So yeah, that's great. So let's go back to 2019. How did you first become involved with the skin games, and what made you decide to compete in age management?
Oh gosh. Well, so all the way back to 2017 is when I first started, and I competed. I became a top 10 finalist, and
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well,
I was only a
wow.
finalist. I did not actually place the first times that I was involved in the skin games. And the person who introduced me was Sherry Flash, that trailblazer who's just so amazing, and
Yes.
such a an esthetician who is about, her business and helping to bring up people that are coming up behind her. I love her so much, and she's someone that was, a great mentor to me. And in 2017, I was just so interested in, trying to kind of go outside my bubble and gain some growth and feel like, I was doing more than just being behind my treatment table. And
Hmm.
I decided to, step out on faith and go and try to do the skin games. And I was in several categories actually. I started out in acne and pigmentation and age
Okay.
management. Did all those,
Whoa.
and then came back and was focused on making sure that, I wanted to bring home the gold.
Mhm.
And so, I wanted to, when I did return, just be really focused and dedicated, and put together an age management case that I thought was going to be stellar and
Okay.
undeniable. And I felt like it was. So I was really proud of my work, and I brought home the gold that year.
Love that.
Yes, you did.
Congratulations.
And I get a huge demerit. I didn't do my homework very well. I had no idea that you played in 2017. I think one of the interesting thing is building a case study. It really makes you stop and think about the why behind
Hmm.
every single decision that you make. Whether you build a case study to compete or not, that doesn't matter. You should challenge yourself in your treatment room, I feel, to and do case studies just so that you know the what and the why and the
Hmm.
how behind every decision that you make. I wow. Well, then you've been involved with the skin games for 10 years too.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
golly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a genuine, blessing to be a part of the legends and see the full, fruition of the beginning of things. It
Hmm.
it really has been just it's grown. We've all grown. I feel like we've had the opportunity to grow together, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
Mm-mm. No, and you are an integral part of that. So what has this entire journey, the whole 10 years that you've been involved, what has that revealed about your work, your confidence, and the direction of your career?
Gosh, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, winning trophies is pretty fun, right?
Maybe. I mean, our backdrop doesn't show anything about any of that.
I mean, that is fun. That you
Mhm.
know, like when you get accolades from the people that you respect, like that is,
Mhm.
there's no greater honor. But to have the relationships, to have the people
Mhm.
that, challenge you to help you grow as well, that is just, it's so priceless. It's
Mhm.
something that I could never dream of, and I would have never thought I would have been on this journey. So, to have grown and gained a CIDESCO endorsement in the process. I could have never thought that for.
Brush your shoulder off, girl.
Right.
Brush it off.
Oh my gosh. We are all CIDESCO, sir. Like we're all CIDESCO holders right now.
Mhm.
I
Yes,
love that. I love that.
Anyway, sorry I
absolutely.
interrupted you.
No, but I mean, it's just, I think that that is something that I could have never anticipated, and
Mhm.
I'm beyond grateful for. It's a priceless thing to have acquired, and honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Like I said, the community is unmatched here, and we just go hard for each other, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate that about us. I do.
Mhm.
I know.
You
And it's
want
like go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
no, it's somebody says in our group, I want to do this. Nobody
Hmm.
goes, why? We all go,
Right.
hell yeah, let's
Let's
go.
go.
And
Right.
how can we help you? I
Yes.
mean, that's
Well,
just,
and it's like the skin games is a competition, but it's a community. So it's like I totally off topic, on topic, but 2 days ago, I said a comment to somebody on their page, and they came back to me like, "Oh my gosh, you sound competitive. Like, how dare you, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, healthy competition is actually good. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It makes us excel. It makes us want to do better and be better. So some people don't see it that way, but I'm like, I'm not a competitive person where I'm going to knock you down trying to compete. I'm a competitive person, as in I'm trying to compete in life. You know what I mean? Like we want to do better and be better. So I
Mhm.
think that people they have an ick perception of competition, and so that's what I'm thinking. The skin games is changing the definition of competition.
Mhm.
I'm
I
just
agree. I think that, when people consider competition to be a negative thing, they're not really thinking about the aspects of how it can push you, right? Because it's you versus you. It's you
Mhm.
versus what you've
Mhm.
done before, and how you can level up and, elevate. So I think that when people see it as, like as a negative thing, they're not necessarily putting themselves in that sort of triangle, and thinking about how they can excel and how they can, you know
100%.
yeah,
And we have
win.
that community to help everybody.
Right. And when you're winning against people that you respect, and you're, competing with people who, you value what they do as well, then of course it's going to be even more of, I think, a win-win for everyone.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. So you continue to support the Skin Games and
Mhm.
serving on the judges panel. How has being part of the Skin Games influenced your work outside of the event?
Right. So I mentioned before that, I was able to get CIDESCO endorsement with programs, but just being able to work in workshops and conferences and, educational events, all of those things, stemmed from me being able to serve as a judge, and have that sort of credibility. And I mean, it's just once you've built that reputation for yourself, of course, you have to show up and be consistent and,
Mhm.
bring value. But I think that once you have the opportunity and that platform is extended to you, it's then up to you, to take the reins and go as far as you can
Mhm.
with the opportunity that you've been given, because it's only so far that people can really help you. You have to, see the path and
Mhm.
direct it forward for what it is that your purpose is, and what your impact will be.
You have to take the step and reach for the hand that is reaching for you to help lift you up. We as a community can create this, we can create all the opportunity, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to do the work. You have to take the first step. So, in creating the CIDESCO endorsed, which congrats, by the way, that is a huge feat, the
Thank
CIDESCO
you.
endorsed global majority corneotherapy certification, you did this to advance culturally responsive care for melanin rich skin. What made you realize that this education needed to exist?
Well, so I've always been kind of building towards an international stage, like I've been very intentional about what I want to do with my career, the legacy I want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And, unfortunately, I was originally told that historical context that was a part of my certification was not something that could be included. And that was just something that kind of really broke my heart, and I wanted it to be something that people could understand and understand the context as to, how corneotherapy was developed and researched. And and honestly, it led directly to me being able to get that CIDESCO endorsement because I wasn't able to fold or, just choosing not to bend on the historical context that needed to be a part of it. So although that moment was, something that kind of led to a little bit of heartbreak, it also led to the biggest moment of my career because,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take that out and I chose not to. And despite that, I was able to make history as one of the first Black women to have a CIDESCO endorsed course. And although it did cost me the stage before, it provided me an even bigger one.
A bigger
With,
platform.
yeah, an
Yes.
even bigger one.
Look
So
at you. Look at you.
so I mean, honestly, like I didn't know that historical process would be a part of this, and finding that out was like a huge moment to be so proud and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that we kept trucking along and
Mhm.
my husband and I
Didn't give
who's
up.
yeah, he's also been someone who's sacrificed and
Mhm.
been a part of this as well. So, to finally get to this place, it just feels like the sacrifice was worth
Oh
it.
yeah, it's a win for both of you, for your entire family, all the support of the people that love you and support you.
Well, I think too, understanding why things are the way they are, wh- that history needs to be understood. It just accepting why doesn't, well, this is just the way it is, but why
Mm-hmm.
is it the way that it is?
Correct.
It allows you to think about things differently,
Mm-hmm.
approach things from a different perspective
Perspective.
and a matter of understanding. It's all in understanding. Our past is important because it's what got
Where
us
we're
to where
going.
we are today, right, Nichelle?
Yep.
A
Brenda,
hundred
right?
100%. And that's all I really wanted to focus on is that we want to provide a new standard of care.
Mm-hmm.
And, to say that this is something that took place, medical apartheid is a part of our history,
Mm-hmm.
but we can also say that, this is what the new standard of care is. And this new efficacious way that we want to pursue corneotherapy is now how we want to, draw that line in the sand. And there isn't anything wrong with acknowledging that. I
Not
think,
at all. Not
yeah,
at
that
all.
it strengthens the science actually. So,
100%.
yeah.
All right, Miss Nichelle. So if you could go back, if you can go back and speak to Nichelle at the beginning of her career, what
Mhm.
is one thing you would tell her that you had to learn through experience?
Oh,
Boom.
wow. Yeah,
That's not a loaded question, is it?
not at all. Not at all. And I hope it doesn't make me cry because honestly, like I've thought about this, right? I think about the estheticians that are coming behind us and,
Mm-hmm.
making ways for them to get further faster. I
Yep.
mean, if I could talk to little Nichelle or baby esthetician Nichelle, I would just say, keep just keep going. Just keep taking the next right step. Even when you can't see where it's going to lead you. Just keep doing your best. Keep doing the next right thing. That sometimes you're not going to know what that looks like. But you'll feel it in your heart, and that is your compass. That is how you lead the
Mhm.
way. So just keep taking that next right step.
Love that.
That
Oh my
is,
God. Tears
that's
myself.
impactful. That's sage wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not old at all. So, hey,
I am. I'm turning 46, y'all.
uh, you're a
Nichelle,
baby.
I'm 45. We're
I'm
young.
not
Don't
telling y'all how
we're
old
all
I am.
young.
We're no, we're
We're
not
young.
playing numbers games. Sorry.
Today,
Okay.
right?
Next question. In one word or phrase, what has been being part of the skin games meant to your professional journey?
Oh, honorable,
Oh.
honorable. I feel very honored to have these delicate estheticians in our hands and being able to shape, our future of this industry. So I feel so honored. It's just such an honor.
Love
Mm.
that. All right, Nichelle, before we wrap up, tell everyone where they can learn more about you.
Please follow me at the Barrier Queen. You can also find out more information at the Skin Barrier Academy. Or if you would like to learn more about trauma-informed aesthetics and just how to incorporate somatic awareness, then please, look out for more information that's going to be coming out soon with the Skin Remembers by Whole Beauty Impact. There's actually a workshop that will be coming up here in November the 2nd. It's called Whole Breath Mirror Sound. So if you are somebody that is in the Philadelphia area and you would like to learn how to provide more safety for your clients and also to just give yourself more well-rounded care so that you're not burning out and you have the capacity, please join us because I would love to just help you to just stay, within your career, have as much longevity as that you can. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for
Oh,
having me.
you're welcome.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and for continuing to bring your knowledge, perspective, and sparkle to our profession. Your journey reminds us that growth is not only about what we accomplish, but what we learn, build, and use to care for others.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of The Director's Cut.
We'll see you next time. Interesting point that I just made this connection. Brenda, I don't know if you knew this. Holly is prior law enforcement, and so is Nichelle.
I did not know that.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
That's wow.
We've
What's the
actually had so
connection
many
between
conversations.
law
Okay.
enforcement and estheticians?
Can I tell you something really quick? So after I graduated high school,
You
I went
were
to
in
NJ
security.
Yes, but listen, I went for criminal justice. I signed up. I took health. I took criminal justice. I learned self-defense. I did things already. Even though I didn't finish the schooling, I was in criminal justice.
How cool.
So yeah, crazy.
I think that there's a link, honestly.
There
I
has to
really,
be something with the mindset.
Yes.
There has to be
Right.
something
Justice.
with the mindset.
Yes, the injustice with skin. We need to.
Battling
Yes.
criminal behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Okay.
One skin offense at a time.
All right. We ready?